Show and Tell Boston After Dark. Today I'm with my co-host.
Cordelia Moy, who's that girl from Roxbury?
And our special guest. Can you introduce yourself, bro?
Yes, indeed. I go by the name of Moe D, music artist from Massachusetts.
Western Mass, right?
Specifically, now out here, but originally from Western Mass, so I say fully Massachusetts now.
So, for those who don't know, can you give us like a little brief background about who you are?
Yeah, no doubt. So, I've been making music since I was like 8 or 9 years old, right? 8 or 9 years old. I wrote my first verse. I got my karaoke for Christmas. It was a Christmas present. I dragged that thing in the snow from my grandmother's house because she lived like a block or two away where we always did Christmas. We hosted Christmas at my grandma's house. So I dragged it over to my crib, started making music on that thing every single day. And then took it from there. You know, I don't want to go too far ahead, but like it started very innocent. You know what I'm saying? Very humble beginnings from nothing, single mother, you know what I'm saying? Only sisters, no brothers. And, you know what I'm saying? Just always been involved with music. Always loved music since the day that I could remember. You know what I'm saying? It's the first day I ever got into a studio, ever went to a show. Like those things really impacted me at a young age. So every year since, I've been pretty much consistent my whole life, just making music, working on projects, helping other people, producing, engineering, you know what I'm saying, mixing, mastering other people, just super busy within the music in all aspects.
You're looking kind of swaggy today. You look kind of fly.
Oh,
Ladies,
yeah,
I'm
most
sitting right
definitely.
next to him.
Thank
looking
you.
kind of swaggy here. I see you.
I
see
appreciate it. Thank you. I try.
In the karaoke machine, so were you singing at first and then you transitioned, or?
Nah, actually, I've always was always rapping because my dad, even though he wasn't around like that, he worked at a magazine company, and he always used to bring me magazines, and it was like The Source and all those hip hop exclusive magazines, and I would open them up, take out posters, take out the CDs of underground artists that are in the magazines, and it was like, I don't know, just underground dudes, and I just felt that vibe, and I started putting posters on my wall, putting the CDs in, and I was just writing and recording with the karaoke, and it was crazy because the karaoke back in the day is like with the cassette, so you had to put the beat, on the CD deck, and then record it onto the cassette. It was like a live take. Yeah. There was no like replaying. It's like when you mess up, you gotta start from the beginning. So like just to be able to gain that experience, like that humble, learn how to do it like that. And then to grow to where it is now, it's a beautiful thing.
So I have a question because I'm like a hip hop head, like a real hip hop head. So I want to know. You said your father worked for magazine. Okay, so I want to know, what was your favorite Source cover?
Favorite Source cover? Oof. I mean, back in that time, I was really into like, especially Eminem. Okay. So if he was on the cover, I probably had the cover, the spread that was inside, all up on the walls. You know what I'm saying? I had a hip hop wall, Eminem wall, females wall. So this, definitely I would say M as far as the Source times at that time.
Okay.
And if you could collaborate with any artist, dead or alive, would that be Eminem, or who would that be?
Good question. I mean, I would love to collaborate with Eminem, right? That'll be a dream come true and a blessing. But I always felt like the people that I say that I would want to collab with is singers, because I could input the rapping melody, the lyrics myself, and then somebody that comes like Jay did when he did Unreasonable Doubt. You know what I'm saying, with Mary J. You put the singers on it.
She was my favorite Source cover with the white puffy jacket, but yeah.
There you go.
Ooh.
The queen, shout out to the queen, Mary J. It's just the perfect birth of like the combination of putting the singer with the rapping elements. So I would personally, to get to the point, I always said people like Alicia Keys, Lauryn Hill, John Legend, like singers like that to go on. But if I had to pick rappers, like pretty soon, I mean, my boy hit me up too, Jadakiss. He actually, shout out Jada, shout out The Game. Like, I'm planning stuff with them. I don't wanna get too loud with that stuff. But I definitely want to collab with The Game. I definitely want to collab with Jadakiss. And those guys, J. Cole would be crazy, Kendrick would be crazy, because I could be considered very conscious too, because like my lyrics, like when it comes to lyrics, I feel like that's very important. And don't mind me if I'm going too far, but like as far as like some collaborating elements and some meat behind it, that's kind of where I'm at.
We're potting people. We're potting. This is what we do. We just don't talk, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're on that Joe Budden show.
Gotcha.
So the journey into becoming an artist started with the karaoke machine and you writing your verses at 8. Then you got into producing and engineering. Were you also performing? Were you performing in middle school? Were you performing in high school?
So as far as performing goes, like I felt like the world was my stage, because everywhere I used to go since I started until like 22, I was basically performing anywhere I went.
That's right.
So we would do a party, and then like, yo, everybody go to the kitchen because Mo's about to do his verses. He about
hell
to,
yeah.
So I would perform like everywhere, even if I'm like in an alleyway or if I'm in a stairway,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like we would all say, yo, bunch up, and then I would be on the top of the stairs and just start spitting and do a performance and jump into any ciphers wherever I go to. So like as far as hip hop, like I studied it a lot. I've done all the grassroots work. So yeah.
Because a performer performs. Like, I can't stand when people say they're artists and then you put them on the spot and then they get shy or they get scared. I'm like, no, if you're a performer, you perform. Right. Wherever, whoever's around, you stop and you perform. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point. You know, and that's what separates real artists from fake artists. Because real artists, they're willing to like die for their craft. They're like, wherever I'm at, I'll do this for free. I don't care. You know, when you come across the phonies, it's like monetizing or what can I get? Like, so the fact that you said that you would just perform wherever, like, that means that you're hungry, you know?
For sure. 100%. Yeah.
When did you really feel like you could consider yourself an artist?
Damn. Well, officially, I would probably say when I got my first actual studio. You know, after the karaoke, around 13 years old, I got a small home studio with an actual mixer, computer, mic, just the basic stuff. But
around 13?
Around 13.
Clean.
So from that point, I was taking that shit even more serious because I was learning. I was taking my craft to the next level, right? Because karaoke to the machine, I'm learning now officially how to engineer, actually produce, loop things, be creative, and you know, it just was allowing me to expand more. So I would say probably when I was like around 13, and then officially I released my own project. It wasn't official. Like I was just grabbing beats from anywhere. You know, it's not like I was thinking about licensing or any exclusive
you were just
rights.
downloading everything from
just
YouTube?
downloading, getting on it. So that was in 07, my first official solo project. And then every year since then, I basically released a project. So I average a project at least a year because I grew up a lot listening to like Hove and you know, Jay-Z.
Oh yeah.
So his work ethic, as far as like the business mentality, I was always with that.
Okay.
The fact that he released every year, I always respected that. Because that, to me, shows you that you're current and you're hungry and you're actually active. Some of these artists out here, they drop an album and then all of a sudden you don't hear from them in a while. They go into hiatus for like 4 years, 5 years. Like, you basically retired and came back.
Yeah.
So, to me, I was like, I got to be consistent with this.
Okay, so since you mentioned, I want to know, like, what has your experience been like being Latino in hip hop? Because I mentioned to you, like, every time, shout out to my Puerto Ricans out there.
Shout out Puerto Rico.
But like, because I always say, like, I grew up heavily influenced, a lot of Puerto Ricans. Shout out to Greenville Street. but my experience has always been like the Puerto Ricans and the black people, it was the same culture. It was all just hip hop culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like anybody felt separate from anybody. It was just like a hip hop culture. Like everybody was into the same thing. It wasn't like a separation, but some people, they do feel a separation. But I want to know, what has your experience been as a Latino in hip hop?
Honestly, I feel like it's a blessing because I love where I come from. My family's from Puerto Rico. Obviously, when you look at the history of the island and everything that it has to offer, and for the fact that it is part of the United States, like, it's so powerful, all the culture that's over there. So for the fact that I can come and do my thing into the hip-hop industry, which is mainly African-American and all that, but it has never been like that and this and then that. And it was always just a culmination, like, just a combination of the cultures and like you said, that respect within one another. So no matter who it is or where it's at, like, I feel like hip hop is universal. So that brings anybody together. And just in music in general, like music, you put music in the same room, you talking music, like you could vibe with anybody, right? So but yeah, I hope I answered.
You did.
Kind of.
I agree. I was wondering though, because were you learning all this stuff by yourself or did you have a mentor?
No, actually, I was doing everything on my own, to be honest with you, and it's
We're talking about engineering, producing,
yeah,
songwriting.
I don't want to sound like overly confident,
Hey,
but
man, that's
Should be.
dope.
That's what you do.
nah. But at the end of the day, like I was like, I'm gonna earn my stripes, so I'm gonna work from the bottom up. I'm not gonna do no shortcuts. I'm not gonna ask for favors. I'm not gonna none of that. So like, I was just open to do everything and whatever it takes.
And that was like
Period.
YouTube University?
I mean, even before YouTube, like this is before YouTube, and I wasn't a big YouTuber like how to this, how to that.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I never tried to copy paste nothing. I never listened to a song and said I want to do a song that sounds just like that. You know, you could take elements from different songs and you can learn things from different areas and incorporate it. But I always wanted to stay as authentic and original as possible. So that's kind of where I'm at with my mentality.
Okay.
And you released, you said 15 mixtapes within how long?
Probably 15 years. Like one
Wow,
I average one project a year. I think there was one year I didn't release something, but and then the following year I did like 2 or 3 projects. I was like, if I'm gonna take a year off, I'm gonna make it up double or triple on the next one, because I can't just say, oh, I missed that. You know, I'm gonna make it up. So average at least one album a year.
Yeah.
The pace I'm going now, I could probably release 2 or 3 a year and be consistent with that, because I'm just trying to like show like, look, this is evolution. Like I'm not slowing down and I'm not taking it easy. Like I'm showing you more.
Right.
So look at the years, and then 2021, oh damn, 2022 stepped up again. 2023, the plans is to step up again. I'm trying to outdo myself.
That's what you should do.
Trying to outdo myself.
That's right. You have to outdo yourself. It's super important. Like, oh, sorry. Because I just think you should constantly be evolving and growing. Because most people, like, they'll be doing something and then, you know, age starts. You should be able to every decade you should be evolving into something different. You know what I mean? Because honestly, you can't be like, I'm gonna be real. Like the 40-year-old rapper and the 50-year-old rapper thing. It's like, I get it, but you have to learn how to still be able to flip being in the hip hop industry, but still knowing your place and being aware. So it's like, if you want to be, you know, at a certain age, learn how to engineer, open your own record label, so that way you're still doing it, right, but it's not looking at who brought uncle to the party.
Exactly. And at the same time, like, you know, shout out to everybody starting. You could start at any age.
Yeah, you can.
No matter, right? Like, you chase your dreams at 60.
Yeah.
You graduate at 70. That's still an accomplishment. But, like, for me, it was, like, natural. Like, they threw the karaoke in my lap, and I fell in love naturally. And the roots were already there. And this is just something that flowed throughout my whole life. But I do get what you're saying. But like you said, it's just a matter of not even evolving every decade. Like, I think you got to evolve as a person every year.
It's true.
You want to say, like, this year, I'm doing better. I'm planning better. I'm outdoing myself than I ever did before. Like, just pushing that envelope. You know, simple as that.
What's your creative flow? Like, what do your studio sessions look like? Is it just you by yourself and you kind of writing, or do you have a group of people that you work with?
So throughout my life, I've obviously experienced all types of studio sessions. Like, going back to the karaoke, it was me and one of my boys that we did a lot of music together. But a lot of times, especially when I got my own studio at 13, from that point forward, I started doing a lot of stuff on my own, because I was the man with all the hats. You know what I'm saying? Engineer, producer, writing the songs, delivering them, engineering them, promoting them. I consider myself like my own little label,
right,
like our own private label, before they even started talking about indie stuff. Now indie is coming out. Everybody wants to go indie. There's a lot of opportunities. You can open doors. But before all that, I was kind of already dabbling into everything. You know what I mean? So that kind of like...
Yeah.
So when did you realize, like, hip hop became, like, mainstream and that it was just profitable to make money in hip hop?
I mean, if you go back to, like, the days of Run DMC,
oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Even the Beastie Boys, like, at those times, things were still hard, like, but they were the ones, you know, opening basically the gates, NWA. But once Jay-Z, Nas, and then early 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like, early 90s came, and I felt like that just changed everything.
Yeah.
Like, they set the other guys respect to them, and they were doing big things, but and then it started becoming more mainstream, like more in the 90s. Nas collaborating with Lauryn Hill, mixing all that, it just helped take hip hop to the next level.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Now, so now I want to know, because I just want to know, because since you're saying like the collaborations, I want to know what's your favorite hip hop anthem?
My favorite hip hop anthem. That's a tough one.
Okay.
Nothing sticks out to me where I could say like that one. But if I had to like, damn, favorite hip hop anthem.
I'm gonna say Annie Up.
Annie Up.
Oh man, yeah, that's pretty good.
Definitely. Rapper's Delight.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
We could talk there. You know, we're talking real to the roots.
Hip hop shit. Now, what's yours?
I like Annie Up.
You like Annie Up? Okay. All right.
Also, did you want some wine? It's on the table for you. Hey, I mean, you can pour your own, but
He's chilling.
I'm chilling.
He's Versace that.
Also, you were doing a lot of shows in Philly, right?
Not a lot, but I've
Well,
done,
at least you started.
I've done some stuff over there. Yeah.
How did you start that?
So me, I'm always the type that, like I said, I always take care of the business side too. So I'm
Yeah.
always trying to figure out how to network,
Hell yeah.
find new opportunities, connections. So I found this group of people that they kind of moved around and do showcases. So they told me, yo, we got a show out here in Philly. So I ended up, I bought a bus ticket.
Hell
Literally, I had
yeah.
my bus ticket, my little pocket Bible, and that's it, my headphones. And I took the 7-hour whatever bus ride over there, focus, like, As soon as I got over there, it wasn't quite what I expected, but I still laid it down.
Where was this in your journey? Was this like when you were first starting, like kind of doing shows, or?
This was probably like 7 years ago.
Okay.
Something like that.
Was that your first time traveling, doing shows?
Yeah. When I did that, in that same year, I also did a show in New Jersey.
Okay.
Another type of showcase. Like I said, at that time frame, I mean, I still do it, but at that time frame, I was really trying to figure out, how can I do this? It's just me. Like, I got to find people. I got to reach out. I got to message, send letters, knock on doors. So.
What year is this? Just put a date on it.
I mean, this is probably 2016, around that time.
Okay.
And I was like, let me expand. Let me try to do something different where I'm maybe don't feel too comfortable, right? Something different. I've never done that. I was like, I'm going to go to Philly because I'm chasing something. I'm chasing a dream. I'm going to New Jersey.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going in my own car. Even if I got to ride dolo, all my boys, everybody want to stay home today, I'm still going.
So now, what part of Philly I used to live in Philly. I used to live in West Philly. On what is that? Off of 32nd and Locust. I lived in West Philly. So now, what part of Philly were you in?
I don't even remember. It was Philly.
North?
I wouldn't remember.
Philly, Pennsylvania, downtown.
Okay, you were in West Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close to downtown.
It was cool. It was fine.
Yeah, it's Philly's. But the one thing I do love about Philly is Philly does support artists. Like, Philly is super, like, supportive of artists. Like, they come out for their people. Like, you don't even, like, Philly artists can go to Philly and just do a show in Philly and sell out Philly. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I can respect the fact that you just kind of hopped on the bus and just did your thing.
Got to do it.
Yeah.
How often are you now kind of putting yourself out of your comfort zone?
Honestly, as for example right now, you know what I'm saying? Just constantly, whenever I can. If it feels good, then I'm gonna go make it happen. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna work it out. So I like to put myself in a comfort zone. Out of my comfort zone, because I like to stretch. I'm always all about evolution. Like, if they ask me, "What's your branding about?" or something like that, "What's your message?" I'm like, it's all about evolution. Like, that's what I stand by. I don't like complacency. I just like to continue to grow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm funny about complacency too. I don't do well with like laziness. You know what I mean? I don't do good with lazy people. I don't like working with lazy people. Like, I believe, like, I guess it's probably because, like, how I grew up, like, a hustle mentality. Like, I guess it's a Roxbury thing. We got to do, like, 5 different things, 6 different things. 16 things at once. Like, it's a hustle. It's a hustle. Like, I just believe you got to just keep hustling. Hey, I told you I grew up with Puerto Ricans. You already know. Ya tú sabes. Hey.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
And the book, talk to us about that. What is that about?
So the book basically is just about self-growth. You know, like I said, I'm real big about evolution, so I want to be able to put that message more in text. like in writing, where you can actually, no matter where you are, but like you're chilling at a beach and you could just open it up, read it, take some gems. It's basically just gonna have all the gems that I learned throughout my whole life. It's not gonna be a autobiography or anything like that, really about my life. It's just I want to be able to share all the knowledge that I got while I'm here. So I want to be able to have that stamped, sealed, delivered, everything. Because coming up, I was also vibing a lot with a lot of older cats. I would be 20 chilling at a party with 40-year-olds, all the dons, old souls, and I'm taking in all this information that they're giving me.
Knowledge.
So that's where I feel like I learned a lot of my knowledge and wisdom from too, aside from my experiences, but like where the rooms that I put myself in and the things that they're talking about.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that all of that, in Spanish is los refranes, like all the sayings that you can think of. I want to be able to put those quotes in there and expand on them and just help somebody else take that and run with it and say, I'm going to implement that in my life.
Yeah.
And the book is basically, it's called The Beginning of New Beginnings. I got the cover. That's the name of the book, The Beginning of New Beginnings.
Bueno influencia.
Yeah.
I have two questions for that. One is like, could you give us one of those gems, like one of those sayings, like right now? Is it
one of the gems? That's a good one. So I would probably say something as simple like, I don't know, I'm not gonna expand on it, but like never quit. Simple. Like, but it'll say, for example, the chapter will be called Never Quit, and then I'll expand on ideas of like why you shouldn't. Stay focused on your big picture, like the reason why you started, the reason why you stay motivated. So like it'll expand on the gem. So and then there'll be another gem, and then it'll be an expansion of that. So
have you ever felt like you want to quit before?
Pardon?
Have you ever felt like you want to quit before?
Quit? No, nope, never. I've always, even though there was a lot of moments in my life where I felt like, oh, I'm gonna quit, or I don't want to do this. Maybe a quick feeling, but as far as saying that I'm gonna quit, I don't want to do this no more, I've never said that, because I always felt like I wanted to be a role model to those around me as well. And I know there was like a lot of kids and nieces and nephews that look up to me, and I always wanted to show them that anything's possible as long as you stick to it.
So now, who would be your athletic equivalent? Like, who's your athletic spiritual animal as far as your drive? I'm gonna tell you mine. All right. Because he's me. Like, I'm him and he's me. I'm going to go Allen Iverson. Ooh. Because he's a little dude. For basketball, like, he's little. He's a little guy. But he has so much heart. He has so much heart. So I'm an Iverson.
Yes.
So
I respect that.
I consider myself an Iverson with my drive. Now, who's your spirit animal?
Yo, first, Allen Iverson is a legend. Yeah. Like, when he came out, the things that he was doing in the All-Star games, like in 2000, 2001, changing the game, coming into the games not in a suit but like swagged out, baggy. Yeah. He brought hip hop to basketball. Like, it might have been still present and people, but true. He really incorporated like his full image, hip hop. Now I'm on the court doing what I do. So shout out Allen Iverson.
Hell yeah.
Complete legend. That's one of my main guys in my top 50 people ever. That dude is special.
Yes.
I love Allen Iverson, but as far as me, I'll probably say somebody like LeBron James.
Okay.
Cause like that whole status that he talks about, like King James, and just saying that, like, King James, he's a monster. Make you want to just get on top of a mountain and just yell and roar and like
you're like a lion,
and like you feeling like a lion.
Hell yeah.
And then when he dribbles, it's aggressive, and I feel like that's my delivery.
Yeah.
So I like to say LeBron James. Shout out LeBron James.
Oh, you don't want to hear my answer?
Yes.
All right.
It's all right.
Jake Paul.
YouTuber.
Because he's a fucking dumbass and a fuck up who like surprises people.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've done that before.
You don't see it coming.
I mean, yeah.
I know. I get it. That was my question.
On that note, let's take a little break and we'll be right back.
Let's get it.
It's Moe D. Yo, pass me the Throw the confetti, 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 throw the confetti. Yeah, yeah. I am a champion. Yeah, yeah. I am a champion. Yeah, yeah. I am a champion. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I am a champion. Time is of the essence. Yeah, you better count your blessings. Even if you're going through it right now, hope in time you get the message. Reading the book in the Valley of the Suns. Throw no looks when I see they bout to dunk. Doing it right, talking about pun. Yeah, you know who the one. Ha. If we were judged by our worst day, who would any of us be? The bird get the worm early, then I take vacate overseas. Like he's the way that I so care. Do you really wanna go there? Reevaluating quality of soul, so quality when I flow. Throw the confetti, 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 throw the confetti.
We're gonna go straight into it. Around what time period was that?
This was like, I don't know, like 7 to 16, like 07 to 16.
You were saying what was going on?
Kind of that time frame. You know, during that time in my life, there was a lot of, for example, reggaeton. We listened to everything, but my household, we had all the exclusive music. We had the blinking lights. We had crazy system.
Ooh.
People would come over. We would not only have like parties, but also listening parties.
Yeah.
So I was like the reggaeton dude. And that's why I want to expand on that now, because that was actually an impactful moment in my life where reggaeton was huge for me. Like, everybody would come to my house before parties. And mind you, I would know the list of all the parties that are happening. Like, I have text messages. I have notifications of, yo, this party starts at 9. This party's over here tonight. This party's over here. And I would have 4 parties to go to, right?
Sound like a DJ.
No, yo, I should have been, because I had all the exclusive shit, and I kind of was, because I would show up to parties and give my CDs and give my music and say, here, play it like this. So, with that being said, reggaeton was huge. People would come over to my house to warm up for parties.
Yeah.
So we would go there, start dancing, vibing, chilling.
Pre-game house.
Now we go in to the parties to go dance. Like I said, reggaeton was huge.
Yeah.
Zion Lennox, Baby Rata y Gringo,
Yep.
Wisin y Yandel, you know, so forth and so, like, it keeps going.
Shout out to Panama, because a lot of people don't know that reggaeton originated in Panama.
I
Shout
know
out to all my Bajans. Shout out to all my
Shout out Panama.
Panamanians. My sisters in the corner. Shout out
Puerto
to
Rico,
your,
Puerto
yeah.
Rico might get a little mad, but like, yo,
I know,
wait,
it's true, though.
hold on.
It's true.
We took reggae and put the thong in it. We put
No.
reggaeton. Like, don't forget. Shout out Panama. Shout out Panama
Shout
and
out
everything.
Panama, my Panamanians.
Puerto Rico got something to say about that.
No.
I'm telling you right
no, but
now.
If you, no,
Reggaeton?
but if you know the history, like if you know, it started out with a Panamanian artist. I forget his name, but you can look it up. I'm not lying. But I think, it started out because a lot of Panamanians have West Indian roots because of the Panama Canal. A lot of Bajans went to Panama. So whenever you go to a Panamanian party or something like that, there's a lot of Latin music being played, and then there's a lot of reggae music being played, because it's a mix of the two cultures. And so this Panamanian artist, his name slips me. He was like, you know what? And he would just start chatting in Spanish over the reggae, because that's the mix of both his cultures. But yeah, so reggaeton, like the first artist to start reggaeton was from Panama. Yeah.
I learned something. Cool. I respect that.
Didn't you perform at a lot of Puerto Rican festivals?
Yeah, actually, that's kind of where I started actually doing legit shows.
Okay.
So I was performing everywhere, but I was like, how can I perform on a stage, like legit? So the Puerto Rican festivals were huge, you know, from Holyoke. I did the one in Boston too. When I did the Puerto Rican festival in Boston, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Because at that time of my life, I never performed in front of a crowd of that stature, of that, like, that many people.
Give us the journey. We got the journey, bro.
So yeah, so like I was saying, like, just all the little festivals, right? And then once I got to the Puerto Rican festival in Boston, that might have been like 2015,
Okay.
2014. that was like huge for me. And then the way the people that I was with made it work. Shout out to, they know who they are. They basically, I was chilling there. They went to the back of the stage, started talking to all the people that run the festivals and all that. And they said, "Yo, get Moe D on the stage." And
it's spur of the moment type stuff.
Spur of the moment.
Okay.
And the crazy part was that this was, I believe, the final day of the festival.
Okay.
And they had the grand finale guy coming up next. So in between, while they're setting up for the main event, they snuck me on the stage. So mind you, the crowd is ready for the main event. So I'm warming them up before they come out.
Now, is this down Villa Victoria in South End?
No, this was when it was at the City Hall.
Okay.
At the City Hall, which I love that spot. I don't know why they moved it, but that was crazy. Like the way when I finished my first song, everybody went crazy. I never felt that
rush?
yell, that rush.
Yeah.
Everybody was like cheering. It was like, ah. And I was just like, damn, hold on.
Like, I'm the shit.
I had to sink it in. I mean, they're here for the next guy, but like they respected what I did too. And I always remember moments like that. That was a key moment in my career.
Was that the favorite performance?
I think so. Yeah, that was probably my favorite performance of all time, of mine.
Second best, what do you give us?
Second best.
Because you said you performed a lot in like Massachusetts.
Enough. I want to perform more now that I feel like I got more material and stuff that I want to perform. But I'll probably say the New Jersey showcase.
New Jersey.
That was probably, it was so different, you know what I'm saying, out of my comfort zone. So I like that.
Different how though?
Different vibe, because it was like, you're not just there like at a festival, you're there enjoying music and you perform. But the showcase, there's actually like A&Rs there, producers there. Like it's a music showcase. So when you're done, if you did your thing, you can rub shoulders with the right people and network. Radio stations that are there that can shout you out, and you can, run the momentum up even more in opportunities like that.
So now you thinking about doing any like music festivals, like I don't know, like South by Southwest or something, like any kind of festivals in Atlanta?
Well, I'm open to anything. Like I said, I'll take the bus, I'll take my own car, I'll take a flight, whatever I got to do for any opportunity like that. But I'm open to them. It's just a matter of getting the right connection, the manager, the booking agent, organizing it for you, confirming the pay or whatever. I mean, I don't ask for much. I just go for the opportunity, and hopefully that opens up another door. You know what I'm saying? I'm never worried about the money like that. It's just doing what I love, living naturally, letting things flow.
Okay.
Favorite collaborations. What's your experience with collaborating with people?
I've always been open to collaborating, but honestly, all the way up until like 2020, anything before 2020, before COVID, right? It's like post-COVID, pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, I was not looking to collaborate, to be honest with you. Like I always wanted to do everything on my own. I wanted to prove my own ground. I could do it myself. I could do me. So it's not that I wasn't open to it, but I always was a solo artist, a solo artist doing me, trying to do everything on my own. As far as collaboration, dabbled in here and there, but I really started saying, you know what, let me collaborate now, like in 2020. I was like, let me collaborate now. Like I said, let me do something that I wasn't used to doing. I'm used to doing it all on my own, but now let me expand. Let me work with other artists. Let me dig into their fan base, stuff like that. So the collaborations now, if we do expand on that, it's a lot different. And I shout out my people out here in Boston. Shout out everybody in Boston that I'm working with right now on the previous project, and the two that I'm working on right now. It's basically 100% Boston-based artists.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So now, I would like to know, because like I said, whenever I talk to hip hop artists, I always kind of I'm telling you, I like to get into like their head, like what the way they think about like hip hop. So I want to know, what is your favorite hip hop verse? It doesn't have to be yours. It could be someone else, or it could be yours.
No, I'm not gonna say mine. It probably is, and it's probably one of my verses that I lost.
Okay.
Because I used to have. It's funny. I'm gonna get to that. I used to have a sidekick, the sidekick phone.
Yeah.
And every time you drop that thing, there was no like syncing like the Apple does now. You could connect to the computer, you back everything up, I had the Sidekick phone. I would have an album ready to record. And then I drop the phone, the battery pops out and stuff like that, and it resets everything that you had in there. So that's just funny little detail. So I literally lost probably like 2 or 3 albums worth of material.
Wow, that's a lot of material.
Of just losing it. So my favorite verse was somewhere in there.
Oh,
but as far as other music, I would say my favorite verse would have to be, and the most impactful is Eminem's verse on "Lose Yourself."
Okay.
Which was what?
Lose yourself in the moment you want it. Yeah, arms are heavy, there's vomit on the sweater, I'm ready. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous. But on the surface, he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking now, everybody's choking how? The clock's run out, time's up, over, blow. Snap back to reality, so on and so forth. But that was just like, and what he's saying too, like the whole background behind it. He's talking about 8 Mile, the roots of where he's from, in the verses, in the movie, in the interviews. You can really feel the essence of him growing up like in 8 Mile. And for me, especially at that time frame, at that age, it touched me so much, and it inspired me so much to want to go harder. That was the most impactful, I would say, verse for me.
Ooh, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say my favorite hip hop verse. If you want to say, I kind of think Damian Marley is hip hop, even though he's reggae, but he is. And I'm just gonna go. I don't know. I like it simple. So I like it when he says, "Speak life, live a humble and meek life, ordinary day of the weak life. Try to search and seek life." I'm thinking that's my favorite verse.
Isn't that the one, the Distant Relatives album he did with Nas?
No, but that's a dope album. Don't mention Nas.
Because the lyrical content that you're talking about on that album,
it's amazing.
And then in that year, it was crazy. Distant Relatives.
Yeah.
Only the strong will continue.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Damian Marley, shout out Nas.
Yeah. Shout out to Nas. I love Nas. Don't get me started. But yeah.
No, that was dope. So
everybody already knows how I feel about Nas.
So, getting to know you as a person, what do you do outside of music?
So outside of music, I mean, I like to explore. I like to learn. I read a lot. I love.
Like what?
I just like reading stuff. For example, like Napoleon Hill.
Okay.
Joyce Meyer. I read her book called Battlefield of the Mind, and that's one of the books that actually changed the direction of my life. Like,
really?
I really sat down, focused on it, implemented a lot of the things, and that took me to another level.
Battlefield of the Mind, what is that about? Is that kind of like meditating or
stuff like that?
Spirituality.
It's very spiritual,
Okay.
Kind of like what I'm going to intend to do with my book. Just give gems, wisdom, knowledge, and help somebody maybe mentally get out of a certain thing that they're going through. So she really helped me out a lot.
What else?
But yeah, just like reading, learning. I love sports. I love basketball, baseball. I played baseball since I was 6 years old.
Ooh.
I stopped playing when I was like 2 years ago when COVID hit. Everything changed, but I actually think I was pretty good in baseball. I threw like 85 miles per hour.
Oh,
hey, this guy.
You know, I had my moments, but I love basketball. Boston Celtics, whenever they're on, I like to watch. And while I'm watching, I'm learning, I'm reading, researching. I like to explore. I like gym. I like to get active when I can. Not as consistent as I want to be, obviously, but I like working out. I like vibing with females, you know, with all due respect, just having that conversation with people, but especially females. God bless. And yeah, just
we're dope.
A little bit, you know. I like cooking, dining,
Hell yeah,
dining out or cooking.
You be chefing it up?
I be chefing it up
What's
nowadays.
your best dish?
Nowadays, probably I would have to say I'm gonna say camarones con tostones. The shrimp with tostones.
Now, I'm gonna have to say I'm a pretty good damn cook myself, so I'm gonna have to challenge you on that. I cook for them Last week.
Hey.
Last week.
Shout it out.
Hi. Who's that girl from Roxbury who cooks? That's
There we
that's
go.
what I did. That's what I cater under. But so I think I'm gonna have to give you remember your money.
Oh yeah, no, you'll probably beat me. I just started. I'm late, but I like to
But you have the
learn and I
interest.
want to expand.
Yeah.
If I host, people come over. I'm like, I got you not only drinks and the vibe, but I got you with some food
And it's
too.
relaxing, and I think
therapeutic.
And it is, and I think with food, because now there's two types of cooking though. Like I don't cook angry ever. Because I feel like everything.
Too much salt.
No, because you're supposed to cook with love. Because people can taste when you cook with love, and people
Yes.
can also cook when you taste angry.
Yes.
So when you cook angry, so I always try to cook happy because you ever taste someone's food and you're like, oh my god, like, and you don't know what you're like, because they cook with love.
They cook with love.
And
They
then you
cook with their
some
heart.
people's
You can
food and
taste
you're just
it.
like.
just put it together.
Yeah, you can tell.
You can
You
tell.
know what I mean?
You can definitely tell.
It's definitely an art form. It's a dying art form to cook for people. And cooking for people is a sign of love.
Yes.
It's a sign of love. And like in certain cultures, if someone cooks for you, that means they love you. But I digress. So I'm gonna stop.
100%.
No,
and I respect you that you do that.
Yeah.
So I love that.
So if I ever cook for anybody out there, that means I love you. That's just a tidbit.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
So I love you, and I love you, and I love you, and I love you, and you. Yeah.
So along that aspect of like what you do outside of music, is there anything like, say, like, not really like a guilty pleasure, but like people who know you as a musician, people know you as an artist, is there anything that's like, what's something that people wouldn't know that you kind of like enjoy? Maybe a genre of music?
What I enjoy, I guess low key, but not really low key. I like massages.
Oh yeah?
I really love I love massages.
Ladies, I mean, yeah.
I need a woman
Respectfully, yes.
that knows how to give massages. That's part of me staying motivated and giving my best. Like when you massage me and you make me feel that good, it just connects me all the ways, like spiritually, mentally, physically. Like it's such a relaxation to the entire
Circulation.
body, and I feel like I could just flow that whole day if I start off the day with a massage or something.
Yeah.
I love massages. Shout out to the females and for real.
Ross Clyde. Okay.
Gotta get the massages. Yeah,
Okay.
it just makes sense. I would.
So now, shout out to all the massage therapists in the building and massage therapists to come and the massage therapists that are in training. Sir.
What is the next stage for you?
Next stage, just in general, nothing's particular. Like the next stage, I think in general for me is to do more shows and do more things like this.
Okay.
Find more opportunities to network, do interviews, expand on the person behind the music. Like I want to share more, like I said, of the gems and who I am. Because it's not necessarily like, oh, Moe D is everything that he spits. That could be a side of me, but I feel like there's more to me. So I like to expand on that as much as I can. So opportunities like this, and like I said, I want to eventually, sometime soon, like right now, I want to officially hire a manager
Yeah, you're gonna have
and a
to.
booking agent.
You're gonna have to, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Some
I
point.
can't do everything on my own, even though
You've been a one man band for too long.
I've been a one-man show for so long, and it only took me so far, and I'm proud of it. But now I just want to go
Focus on the
bigger,
art,
go
yeah.
higher. In order to do that, you need a team.
Yeah.
You need people around you that support you, love you, and hold you down. So that's key.
I was gonna say. Well, I was saying maybe want to focus on the art because I feel like when you put too many hats on, you're just being stretched too far.
100%, and that's kind of where I'm at now. I want to be able to give like the hats to other people, like an assistant. Here, do this for me, do that, and just build that team. And it's giving me more flexibility to be me as an artist and be me as a person instead of having to worry about like, oh, I gotta engineer that after I record it, or I gotta promote that after I'm finished.
Yeah, 'cause
like
it's a lot.
have a team to handle those aspects while I do me.
But then at the same time, sometimes it's kind of like leaving your baby with people. Like I don't want you messing up my kid. I took a lot of time to put this together, and kind of the way visually and mentally. You know the way you want your stuff to look and sound, and so it's kind of like you have to make sure that you really, really trust someone with your art.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
because when, like, for an artist, you make music and you feel very delicate about it, like you
Sensitive about
said,
your
and I
shit,
feel like
yeah.
you're so connected
shout out
to
to
it.
Eric Badu.
So I could be, for example, the studio do a song that's so deep in me, like that's my spirit talking on that particular song.
Right.
And then somebody just listens to it on the surface and they don't understand the depth of it.
Right.
They're not gonna take it as serious. So like, okay. But I like the fact that I did it backwards. I did everything my own first because now I understand the process. So when I'm in the studio watching somebody engineer or mix and master, I know exactly what they're doing and I can guide them like, oh, actually don't. Reverse
Don't do
that step.
yeah.
Or like if they're promoting music, I could say like, I would rather focus more on this area or on these stations or, you know, the budget here. So I can basically guide that more with like a boss mentality because I was doing it myself first. You know what I mean? So now I could just watch and allow other people to help.
So now, who is your? This is another hip hop question because this is what I
Hip-hop?
So I want to know who is your favorite hip hop DJ? Like, who was the DJ that you think that gave hip hop like the biggest, broadest audience?
Damn.
Honestly,
Can't remember.
I don't think I wouldn't say if I have like a favorite DJ.
Yeah.
I mean, I love DJ Khaled now, right?
DJ Khaled, okay.
Like that's my guy, DJ Khaled. One day, out of everybody that I would want to meet in the music industry, one day I want to meet DJ Khaled.
It'll
I feel like we have so much similarities. We'll vibe crazy.
Yeah.
Like I love everything about DJ Khaled. But if we go rewind and go closer to when hip hop was growing, beginning, I would say like DJ Red Alert was a key DJ in taking hip hop to the next level. You know what I'm saying? DJs like that.
I'm gonna say Funk Flex and Angie Martinez.
Shout out Funk Flex.
Oh, Funk
Angie
Flex.
Martinez. Shout out to the female. She was one of the first. She's a pioneer. She crazy. So much love and respect.
I'm gonna say Funk Master Flex and Angie Martinez.
One more time for the people. Tell us about the next things that you're about to get into.
So next I got planned. I'm working on 2 current albums right now: a Spanish album and an English album. Working on a book. In between all that, what I'm trying to get into is do more shows, perform, do more interviews like this, and dabble into some radio stations and just do a little bit of everything that when you think about music, I want to dabble into all of that. So as far as like my projects and the ideas that I have, yes. And then take that to a bigger stage, you know, perform it, showcase it to the world, to the masses, to TV, radio stations. So that's obviously in the works. It takes time. Building the team comes first. But I'm definitely trying to take this to the biggest level possible. I'm super hungry, endless creativity, and I feel like I can just help out, whether it's a label or a business. I can implement my ideas and help you grow. So by you helping me, you're also helping yourself. I'm the type that if you look out for me, I'm gonna look out for you double. You got me. You know what I'm saying? You got me a bottle. You got me a bottle of wine. I'm gonna get you a crazy ace of spades.
That's right.
You know, like I'm gonna look out more as soon as I can because I keep track and tabs of the people that kept it real with me.
Plug us on your socials.
So yeah, you can find me everywhere at Moe D Music. You know, Instagram, Facebook, Moe D Music, MOE. D as in daddy, music. The website is modmusic.com. I try to update that as much as possible as far as merch, the music, videos, extra content, upcoming events, shows, ideas, everything you could basically get on the website. And like I said, you can follow me everywhere at Moe D Music.
Okay.
And any last words you want the people to know?
Any last words? Right now, I would honestly like to wrap it up with just being authentically yourself. It's a beautiful thing for people to be them and everybody to give them their space to be them. I feel like sometimes there's a lot of things going on in the industry and everybody wants to just mimic that or copy and paste, or because you're trying to be you and you're different in a certain space, they try to tell you that that's not what's going on right now, and try to change you. But, you know, shout out to everybody that stays on the course and believes in themselves. Always believe in yourself. Never quit. Stay positive. And God bless. Never forget, the man above is the one in charge. And blessings to everybody. Much love.
Hey, Show and Tell After Dark. One more time, give your last.
My name is Cordelia Moy, and I am Who's That Girl from Roxbury. And you can follow me on my YouTube page. And on Twitter, I'm Roxbury Who One.
It's been a blessed conversation.
Yeah.
We enjoyed having you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, too, as a guest host. This is great.
Oh, yeah.